Did you know that over 1.9 billion people, or 26% of the global population, live on less than $3.20 per day? And according to the World Bank's yearly Poverty and Shared Prosperity report, about 46% of the world's population lives on less than $5.50 per day. Even if you make a little more than that, you may still be trying to survive on a low income. So, does this mean you should deny yourself all of life's simple pleasures? Of course not. For many individuals, making ends meet on a small salary is a need rather than a luxury. Contrary to common myth, you can comfortably live on a low wage. You might find it surprising, but a small income can stretch further than you think with smart budgeting and spending. In this video, we'll share 7 tips to live on a low income while still living a comfortable life. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to Blue Chip Mindset, the winning mindset for success. If you enjoy the video or learn something new, please give it a like. Tip number 1, start saving for emergencies. Having an emergency fund is essential for everyone, but it becomes even more crucial when you have a low income. This is because you have less room for error in your financial planning. If you make a decent income, you could have some wiggle room in your monthly budget to cover unanticipated expenses. Suppose you don't have an emergency fund. In that case, you must utilize credit cards or other types of debt to pay for things like significant house repairs, auto repairs, or unexpected medical expenses. In a low-income situation, you must have a reserve of 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses. But how can someone on a restricted budget accumulate such a large emergency fund? The tips we'll discuss in the rest of this video help address this challenge. Tip number 2, use extra money carefully. When trying to survive on a low income, you must be very careful about how you use any financial windfalls that come your way. For instance, imagine receiving a few $1,000s as wedding gifts. You could choose to spend this money on a luxurious honeymoon. However, another option would be to forego the honeymoon and use the funds as a down payment on a house or to pay off a vehicle loan. Making such a decision could provide immediate financial relief and help you manage your finances until you're able to grow your emergency fund. Tip number 3, compare each significant monthly bill. Spending hours each week hunting for coupons to save a few bucks on groceries is a common practice, but it's important to remember that time is also valuable. Interestingly, many people neglect to check significant expenses, such as their auto insurance rates, which could take just an extra hour every 6 months to review. A few phone calls could potentially save you $20 to $40 a month, a worthwhile return for a minimal time investment. It's an opportunity well worth taking. While many people are diligent in saving on groceries and dining out, they often overlook the potential savings in their regular monthly expenses, like cable, internet, and phone bills. For example, did you know that internet providers often increase rates annually after your contract expires? By calling them each year to either cancel your service or express an intention to switch providers, you'll likely be offered a competitive rate on a new 1-year contract, often matching what you were initially paying. Switching providers is a good idea as well. In fact, I saved 55% on my monthly internet bill by making a phone call to compare rates with another competitor. Tip number 4, avoid credit card debt. I'm gonna make this one relatively easy for you. If you can't pay your credit card balance in full monthly, cut up your credit cards. Any debt with a high interest rate, 7% or higher, will be problematic. But credit card debt is particularly problematic. Credit cards use compound interest calculations. In other words, your interest is added to your principal daily. According to Forbes Advisor's weekly credit card rates report, the average credit card interest rate is 27.79%. Remember that this is just the average, and that kind of interest rate alone will crush anybody. So, is using credit cards wrong? No. We all have utilized credit cards to help us obtain free travel or cashback rewards, and carrying cash isn't always ideal. However, paying interest hurts the most. So, only use credit cards if you can pay off the monthly balance in full. Real quick, if you are enjoying the video so far or learned something new, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you aboard. Tip number 5. Establish sinking funds for unexpected expenses. This is similar to an emergency fund, but has more flexibility. This fund is not for necessities like food or utilities. Instead, it would be variable costs for things like trips, presents, clothes, and regular auto maintenance. Every month seems to bring some kind of unexpected expense. However, upon closer consideration, you'll realize that these costs aren't truly unexpected at all. For instance, birthdays of family members and car repairs are simply facts of life. Therefore, begin by setting aside money each month for these expenses. Some might refer to this as sinking funds, but regardless of the name, it's important to prepare for them. Tip number 6. Enjoy affordable activities. Not all enjoyable activities have to be expensive or cost anything at all. A night out with friends, if not carefully planned, can end up being quite pricey. It's easy to spend $100 to $200 on food and drinks at a nice bar or restaurant on a Saturday night. A more budget-friendly option is to invite friends over for dinner, instead of going to an expensive restaurant. Alternatively, if meeting out is preferred, choosing a local dive bar where drinks are more reasonably priced can also save money. Regarding outdoor activities, options like going to the park, taking a walk, or going for a bike ride are enjoyable and cost nothing. For sports enthusiasts, instead of spending half your day attending a game, which isn't cheap considering gas, parking, and admission fees, consider inviting a friend or two over and having them bring some snacks. By watching the game at home, what could easily cost $150 or more turns into an almost free activity, with just a few bucks spent on snacks and drinks. Plus, you get the added comfort of being in your own home and saving time on commuting to and from the game. If you have family, consider camping as a cost-effective alternative to expensive trips that involve hotel stays, potentially saving you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Embracing free activities like this can be a great way to save money, and you might even find that you enjoy these simpler kinds of adventures even more. Tip number 7. Reduce the cost of your car and housing. This is arguably the most crucial piece of advice on the list. Many financial websites suggest cutting back on small expenses like $5 lattes or dining out to achieve financial success. While I don't disagree with this, it's surprising how little attention is given to the two major expenses that can significantly impact your finances: housing and automobile costs. If you decide to cut cable or skip daily lattes, you save around $80 to $100 a month. But consider bigger decisions like housing. Choosing a home that costs $50,000 less can reduce your mortgage by approximately $300 each month, which adds up significantly over time. This decision not only lowers your immediate expenses, but also reduces long-term interest costs and can improve your overall financial flexibility. The same principle applies to transportation. Opting for a $10,000 car over a $30,000 one can decrease your monthly payments by hundreds of dollars. Even better, paying in cash eliminates monthly payments entirely, freeing up more of your budget for other financial goals or savings. It's about making strategic choices that have a larger, more lasting impact on your financial health. So, do you have any tips on living on a low income you'd like to share? If so, drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Until next time.